We exaggerated a bit in creating diversity, so we planted over 350 different edible species.
Hey, welcome to first Cycle to Farms episode. We have cycled first 40 kilometers and we are in the Netherlands in Groesbeek.
Yeah, we will visit Wouter van Eck food forest where he combines food production with nature on a 2.5 hectare field.
Actually, when we started our project back in 2009, this was a bare field used to grow annual crops, corn, mainly for fodder, sometimes potatoes, and it looked exactly like the field next door. And the soil was very compacted, and when it was rain, the water was standing on the surface, which is a bad sign. In the beginning you have to plant the trees, you have to have access to ground. Those are the economic hurdles to start. Once planted, you have hardly any costs anymore, no expenses. There's no tilling of the soil, there's no spraying of pesticides, there's no irrigation going on. There is, we don't weed that much, don't prune that much. We just give some guidance to the system, but the trees and shrubs grow by themselves and offer us every year more harvest. It only needs some patience in the beginning. The first years they are young and still have to establish, and harvest is not that big. Yeah. But after a few years, when the harvest is giving you income and you have very little expenses, this is a profitable farm. For me, regenerative agriculture should bring back biodiversity, combine this with food production, should not use or hardly use any fossil fuels, and is improving storage of carbon in the soil, is improving water management.
How often do you harvest?
At least once a week we harvest here. So every Monday morning a chef cook is coming from nearby Nijmegen town, and we harvest together what's available that week.
Okay.
And of course during our winter it's not that much, but still something, and it's quite a lot at the end of summer. There are many parts we can eat from certain plants, but you should be aware what to eat. From potatoes, don't eat the berries, they are poison, but you have to eat the tubers back down in the soil. Here we have plants, some offer edible berries, some offer edible leaves, some offer edible flowers, some offer edible shoots, some offer edible nuts. So there are many different plants, parts of plants to eat. Actually, for a forest, the type of soil is not that important, maybe at the start, but when trees grow older, they create their own fertility, and you don't need to bring compost or manure or fertilizer. The system itself is fertilizing it. And so even on sandy soil or stony soil, trees can make a forest. They do this by themselves and they don't need us. We are a team of 2 persons, but on average our hours together related to work on 2.5 hectare is half a day work per week. So I really nicknamed ourselves being lazy farmers. We let nature do the job. So it's important for farmers to shift their mindset, to free themselves from the industrial agriculture and the monoculture cropping systems, and to grow food in a landscape where it's nice to be.
I have been reflecting on the conversation with Wouter, and I came to the realization that we all have a constructed vision of how a farm should look like. I got kind of confronted with my vision when I accidentally passed by the food forest, because I was thinking that it would be a bigger plot of land and more human involvement and high-tech tools, but actually it was just a small plot of land. But what was actually amazing was that this plot of land had so many different varieties of edible species, and and I was thinking that maybe we have a different understanding of how the future of farming should will look like, right?
There's going to be a footpath where everybody can walk. We'll have signs here. There's going to be trees. There's going to be water. We're going to connect to the lake. So it's going to be